Hey, this morning. Oh man. So I'm here this morning in the studio. I'm a little out of sorts this morning. I'm trying to adjust back into real life. My husband and I went away on a marriage retreat this weekend, which I highly recommend to anybody who is married. Think of it as like your annual physical. You don't go because something's wrong. You go because you want to stay healthy, right? So we do that every year. We weren't able to last year. We had the privilege of photographing a wedding last year. Oh. So we missed it, and it was huge to miss it. We go every year. My parents come stay with our kids. It's great. So I highly recommend that to everybody. Find something to do to check in with your marriage every year, because especially when you add kids to the mix, it's a little more challenging. So anyway, this morning I'm here with Rebecca Urban of Urban Arrivals. If you've not met her yet, you are missing out. So I'm going to introduce her. We're going to talk more about it, but she has a new moms group, all sorts of stuff. So anyway, Rebecca.
Yeah, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Tell us, since not everyone here knows who you are, and like a little bit about you personally and all that.
Great. Well, thanks for having me on. First and foremost, I'm a mom of 6 kids. My oldest is 10 and my youngest is 8 months old.
Very cute.
I'm also a licensed childbirth educator, which I've been for the past 9, almost 10 years. And my background is also as a professional birth doula. So I've attended a little over 200 births now.
Wow. Do you count your own in that number?
No, I don't. But I'm sort of groups, which we've had 2 of so far, and also doing coaching and counseling for new moms, specializing in difficult births and postpartum transitions.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Wow. That's a lot. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And so I did have a home office in Lancaster, and I had a pipe burst right around the time. Yeah. Right around the time I was thinking, I really need like new office space. And then Root and Sprout in Northborough opened up back in October. And for those of you who don't know about Root and Sprout or haven't heard of it, it's incredible. If you're a mom, you need to check it out. It's a fitness center for women, and they have an upstairs level where they have childbirth education classes, and they run these there moms group for free every Friday from 10:15 to 11:30. And then I see clients in my office as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's start off talking about this new moms class, because I want to hear more about this.
Yeah.
So, as she said, there's been 2 so far. They're on Friday mornings.
Yeah.
What kind of things do you discuss in this?
Good.
This
so it's not a new moms group. It's a moms group.
Moms group that is new.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And new moms are welcome, and I would say they make up a good portion of the people who come. But it's open to all moms. We have a lot of moms who are maybe just had their second baby and they have a toddler, and that transition can be really difficult, as you know. But one of the things that makes our group a bit unique is that it offers even a baby and they just need some me time. The Child Watch is available to them for a nominal fee. And of course, they're welcome to bring their babies into our group setting. But the idea behind it is to have a place where moms can go and practice a little self-care and be able to talk openly, breastfeed openly if they're breastfeeding, and feel supported.
Okay. Where do you meet? Do you meet in your office? Do you
No,
meet in
so
the
we meet right
conference
next to
room?
my office in the conference room on the second floor of the
Okay.
building. So
All right. So if you've not been to Root and Sprout, you go in the main door,
in
take the
elevator.
elevators right there. Take it to the second floor, and when you leave the elevator, you're going to be facing like a balcony. Turn right. You'll see the sign. There's Root and Sprout right there.
Yeah.
It's great. Super easy. Great to have an elevator. You can take strollers up, whatever.
Yeah.
So awesome. So talk to the
Yes. So app,
okay.
and you can sign up for fitness classes using that app. You can sign up for Child Watch using that app, or you can go directly to the Root and Sprout website.
Okay.
And if anybody has any problems, they should just call the number for Root and Sprout. But they do like to have a sense of how many people are coming. And same with Mom's Group too. In case there are any weather cancellations, it's nice to kind of have an idea, even though it's a free group.
Register ahead of time.
Yeah, it's helpful to know.
Okay. And so the group itself is free.
Yes.
You can come. So like even if you don't register, can you just show up if you are like last minute? Like you said, you want to know.
You're supposed to register, but if you're like wake up and your baby's crying and you're trying to get out the door and you don't have time to register, just come. Don't let that stop you.
Yeah. I have a question already. What's the app again that you said?
Mind Body.
Mind Body. Is it
one word?
One word. So,
if you go to the Root Sprout website, there's a link to it.
Okay.
I'm sure it's easy to find.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what about the child care?
Yes.
Is you have to they want you to register for that ahead of time
They
too?
do.
Is that's paid?
So that is, I think it's $7 for the first child and $5 for each additional child.
And what if you have a Root and Sprout membership that includes childcare? Then it's just covered, right?
Yeah,
Even if you're not going to a fitness class.
That's right, if you're on the premises. And same with meeting with me as well.
Okay.
So in private consultations, which is a huge bonus, I think, for moms who have toddlers or older children.
Right.
It's nice.
And my kids love the Root and Sprout Child Watch. We drove in the driveway last week to drop something off, and my boys were like, "Oh, can we go play? We're going to play."
It's so nice. I mean, most fitness centers that do offer some sort of childcare, like I found the people kids the total opposite of that. They really love the kids. They care about the kids. They interact with the kids, and I just feel like my kids are in good hands when they're in there.
Yeah.
So.
And thank you, Ariel. She linked to the Child Watch.
Oh, good.
She's on top of it. Awesome. Awesome. So awesome. So that's the new moms group. Any mom can come.
Any mom can come. And
the moms group that's new. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Any mom can come.
Yeah.
And so how's it run? Like, what do you?
Good question. So it's a very casual format. So the moms come in and most of them have their babies with them. And I usually have Dunkin' Donuts coffee and
sold. I'll be there.
And I usually bring like muffins and cookies and bagels. I probably set a precedent for that, so I'll keep doing it. I feel like when I was new, hard, just like and so. All of these moms who are able to like get out of the door in the middle of winter with their babies, and some of them have babies and a toddler, they probably don't have time to eat or grab a cup of coffee along the way. So my treat.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What time is this group again?
10:15. You can come too.
All right.
And then we have just a loose topic each month.
Okay.
So February's topic has been self-care. And so we start the group just sort of talking about self-care, like what's working, what's not working. And then after a brief discussion on self-care, we just open it up and talk about anything people are struggling with. But, just to give you an idea of like self-care, like, did anybody take a shower this week? Was anybody actually able to eat something? And, we talk about things like that. Like when you have a new baby, what do you do? Like, how do you shower?
new mom because
Yeah.
there's all sorts of things that you just
It's a steep
don't
learning
know
curve.
until you have a baby.
It's a steep learning curve.
Yeah.
And also I want to say too that some of the feedback I've been getting from the moms who've been coming is that a lot of new moms groups are just geared towards breastfeeding moms. And we're not. We're open to anybody. And there's people there who are breastfeeding. There's people there who are exclusively pumping. There's people there who are supplementing with formula. We are non-judgmental.
Right.
So
You're
come
feeding
in,
your
bring
baby.
your
That's
problems.
awesome.
And fed is best.
Right.
And we want to be a safe place where people can come and share openly and honestly
Yeah.
and feel supported.
Nice. So do you have March's topic picked out already?
I don't. Do you have any suggestions?
No.
And it is, sometimes just being around other moms who are being honest and telling you the truth
Right.
and saying that my baby's not sleeping either and my baby wakes up 4 times a night and that's, how are you dealing with that? It can be affirming for moms.
Right. Yeah. To realize you're not alone.
Yeah. Because some of these other groups I hear about, like moms are all, oh, my baby is, sleeping through the night. My baby is this. My baby is that. And
Right. Which may be true.
maybe. But a lot of moms are liars too. So
Not me. You want honesty, come to me.
it's really, they do. Moms sometimes lie. They do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dishonesty. So
They want to look like they have it all together.
that's right.
Yeah. Makes sense, but it's not reality.
No.
We're all human.
Yeah.
We all struggle.
It's true. So this is a safe place to come and give ourselves like little homework assignments after each group. Nothing
Okay.
major, nothing to stress anybody out more than they're already stressed out, right? But a goal could be like, I'm gonna take an hour a day for myself, or I'm gonna go get my hair cut this week. I'm gonna, like put the baby monitor on and put the baby down and not always on me. Like, simple,
Right.
small baby step goals.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
I love it.
So Fridays, 10:15
Yep.
at Root and Sprout.
Yes.
All right. So you also
Yes.
have an office at
I
Root and
do,
Sprout.
I
So
do.
let's talk a little bit about what do you do there? You're there what days? How often?
I am there on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 2, and then Wednesday evenings from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yes. I back consultations, so vaginal birth after cesarean. So if somebody has had a cesarean with one of their births, for whatever reason, sometimes they're necessary. Other times moms feel like they weren't necessary. And maybe they're pregnant again and hoping to have a vaginal birth the second time around the third time. And a lot of times moms, especially in this area, but really across the country, are finding that their questions at their OBGYN office on those initial consults just aren't answered, and they're not, the doctors aren't spending a lot of time with them. It's maybe like a 10-minute appointment. So they feel lost. And the truth is, in this area, there's a big difference between hospitals and providers, and some are going to be
Show
experiences or the evidence that they shows otherwise, and it's not really hard to spot, and that's what I try to teach moms. So there's a difference between a hospital or a provider that's VBAC friendly versus merely VBAC tolerant, and how to figure out which is which, and really like what kind of questions to ask.
That's amazing.
To give yourself the best shot at a trial of labor,
Right.
hopefully a VBAC.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is all good information. I wish I had met Rebecca after my first so that I could potentially have had VBACs and had 3 C-sections. which I think you all know already. Okay, awesome. So that's one thing
That's
that
one thing.
you would see clients
That's
for.
been pretty common. Yeah, so a lot of my clients lately have been VBAC consultations, and then I also do individual coaching. Yeah, different aspects to it. There's sort of the birth-related ones and new motherhood sessions.
Well, since you're a child birth educator, do you still? Sorry to interrupt. Do you still teach classes?
I do. I still teach classes. I'm affiliated with the Bradley Method, so I teach 12-week classes, and I also do private classes.
Okay.
And then, so where were we? What were we talking about?
Sorry.
Oh, my other
things that you. Sorry,
That's okay.
my fault.
So the other consults tend to be with new moms who are having difficulties transitioning, and that can be very broad from I don't know how to schedule my day, I feel lost, I feel depressed, I feel anxious all the time.
This is post-delivery?
Yeah,
okay.
To even moms with toddlers or older children who are just having a difficult time, whether it be work-life balance, whether it be just also the feelings she's experiencing are normal. I don't really like that word, but common.
Common,
versus,
such a better word.
Yeah, versus maybe needing some more help. And in the situations where moms need more help, I will refer them out. I have a nurse practitioner who I work with as well. And if they need pharmaceutical help or more help than I can give. But sometimes we work in tandem, so they can come to me for coaching sessions and then get conquering care elsewhere too.
Okay.
But those are the types of things. And then just moms who are starting their own businesses and trying to juggle that with being a mom.
I understand.
Yeah, that's really so. That's what we do, and I think coaching is different from therapy, different from and action-based direction.
So it's not just talking through your problems.
No, we can chat, we can talk,
right.
But it's coming up with an action plan, like a written plan of, what are we going to do this week? How are we going to change things? What areas of my life do I need help organizing?
Right. And it's written down.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, do you plan, if you fail to make a plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah, I like that.
Right? Like,
my mom, when I was in 5th grade, did something amazing for me. Well, she did a lot of amazing things for me. But I was having trouble in school academically. And my mom said, we're going to get you a tutor. And I thought, oh, okay, it's going to be a math tutor. It's going to be a Latin tutor or whatever. I was thinking, but it was this lady named Mrs. Loveland. And Mrs. Loveland was an organizational tutor. She was an organizational expert. And what we did was drop and she said, all right, these are your subjects. This is your time. This is what, this is everything you have to do. And this is the space that you have to do it in. And let's write down your assignments and let's plan accordingly. Changed my life.
That's
seriously,
awesome.
That one session, I met with her every week. But she's, in a sense, a life coach of sorts.
Right.
And my academics greatly improved. But I feel like I've used that skill just in my life as a mom. Because so many times we have just so many things running around in our heads and we don't even know where to begin. And it can be overwhelming. But to really sit down and say, okay, these are my priorities. This is how much time I truly have. This is how much time it really will take. If you just have a baby, it takes like 3 times longer to do anything, right? But those are the types of things that we do. And I do with moms.
So you have advice for organizing?
Depending, did you have a baby last week? Is your youngest child 3? It's going to be different based on the individual. So it's all individualized. But self-care is always at the top of the list. You know?
It's like being on an airplane. They have the masks that come down. Like, you need to do yours first before you can help your children.
That's right. That's
like,
right.
if you help them, you're not going to be there to help them.
Yeah, it's really true. And it's something that we really struggle with as moms. You know?
Yeah, we tend to be martyrs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. All right. What, are there other things in the coach, like you do childbirth education?
I do.
You have the office at Root Sprout, but then you also have another.
I do have one in
office.
Cambridge too that I'm just at on Sunday afternoons and evenings.
Okay.
And I teach my 12-week Bradley Method childbirth class there. And then I will sometimes see clients for
Right.
So I have.
How many clients do you have this spring?
So I have one who's due any day now. Yeah. So her due date is February 25th, but she's been showing some signs that she might go early. And then I have 3 in March, 2 in April, and 1 in May.
Wow.
And I'll probably take the summer off from active birth work, but I definitely can't give it up entirely.
Right. Well, I mean, it makes sense as somebody who likes to coach, like, and help women, like, what a better way to help women than to help them through their delivery.
It's nice. And a lot of the moms that I work with, like, it goes hand in hand, because a lot of the moms I work with have had difficult births with their first children and then found me afterwards, and I work with them in counseling, and then as a doula at their birth, doing what I can to make it a good experience. Too. So that's a big passion of mine. And
talk a little bit about that venue, because I don't think we've touched on it. You and I have personally talked about you love to work with, or maybe love to work with but you work with a lot of moms who've had difficult deliveries.
Yeah, so I found that that was not my plan when I became a birth doula and a childbirth educator, but I found the longer I did it, the more I really just loved the moms who would come to me who had had difficult experiences and trying to help them with subsequent births. And that's kind of where I got the idea to branch more out into the counseling and coaching aspect of my business, because I'm very passionate about that. And there's just such a need for it. So many moms don't know where to go. And a lot of them feel that didn't kind of this idea in our culture that, well, if you have a healthy baby, that's all that matters. And it can really...
It's a big deal, but it's not
deal.
all that matters.
And it's something that moms remember that day for the rest of their lives. And I once heard it put this way, and it stuck with me. Like, imagine if you were getting married and you were planning your wedding and you were looking forward to this day, and, you know, you had all the flowers done and everything arranged. You've been planning it for so long. And then a hurricane swept through on the day of your wedding. And, you know, all your pretty flowers wilted, and there was flooding, and nothing went as planned. But you did actually get married. So you did get married. So that's all that matters. Wedding, right. So what do you have to complain about? Because you're married now, and that's all that mattered. The other stuff didn't matter. Well, the other that it doesn't can be so hurtful, and birth really impacts us for the rest of our lives, and it's our introduction to motherhood, and it's profound.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I with our third, so, you know, I've already said we had 3 C-sections. Our first was breech.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that there were doctors in this area that are trained to do breech delivery.
Yeah.
So if you have a breech baby, and I learned all this after this delivery, if you have a breech baby, it's safer to get a C-section if your doctor is not trained in breech deliveries. However, if you have a doctor that's trained in breech deliveries, it's actually safer to deliver a breech baby, statistically.
Yeah, like depending on there's some particulars too. It depends on the individual woman, and it also depends on the type of breech. Right. There's different breech presentations. There's footling, frank, complete. So,
yeah.
But it takes skill. It takes skill. So.
Known that it was even an option to consider.
Yeah.
And then my boys were each about a year later. All my kids are about a year apart, so they automatically tell me you know you're having a C-section. And I fought, might not be the right word. I fought most with my last baby, and my doctor was willing to let me go to 41 weeks, which is kind of amazing. Like, my doctor was really, really willing to work with me. They wouldn't induce me, but he was willing to let me go to 41 weeks. And the night before my scheduled C-section at 40 weeks, I called him in tears.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 6 or 7 at night, the night before my scheduled C-section. And he calls me after I'd left him a message earlier in the day, and just in tears saying, like, I know this is my last chance.
Yeah, yeah.
More than likely to have a vaginal delivery. I really just want to go over. Yes. And which he told us, he's like, it's not an exact science. Take my best guess on his size. I'll give you my advice.
Okay.
It's your decision.
Good.
I will give you my advice. Yeah. And so, you know, it looked like the baby was on the larger side, and given that it was my third C-section close together, he recommended we go ahead with the C-section. And turns out we had to wait a couple of hours because there was an emergency C-section in the middle there, because we had waited so long to make that decision. So during that time, you know, we had decided to go ahead with our C-section based on, you know, we trust him, and he's the professional. And so he came in and talked to me, and he knew that I was very upset about it. And he was like, I'm so nervous that this baby's going to be like 6 pounds, because I know that you want this so badly. Like, you know, it's like, mind you, like
the decision is
okay with this, because I know.
Oh, that's great.
Right? I feel like it's unusual. I love my doctor.
It is unusual.
But I made the decision, you know, we made the decision together, my husband and I, but I still had to grieve that.
Sure.
Like, I always, I mean, in my prenatal classes, I never paid attention to the C-section part. Because I was like, I'm going to have a C-section. And then that's all I've ended up with. And so I always thought, all natural, I can do this. This is what my body's made for. And it's never happened.
Well, I think, you know, at the same time, cesareans, you know, they're a major abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
And they can impact future fertility and birth options. But they can be joyful experiences too. And I feel like a lot of educators really just paint them in such a negative way, and that can make women feel bad if they give birth that way. So one of the things that I do help women with too, if they know that they are going to need a subsequent C-section, or just in my regular childbirth classes, we all plan for cesareans too. We plan ideal birth, in the case of an induction or augmentation, and then in the case of a cesarean. And we talk about what your options are there, because you do have a lot of choices. It's not just like, oh, my ideal plan is out the window and now just do whatever you want to be. There's a lot of things that you can do to make it a more joyful experience.
I got skin to skin time.
Yay! Awesome. That was going to be one of my...
in the operating room almost immediately.
Yeah.
Especially with my first. Like, they basically just put her right on top of me. My third, or my second, did with the third one, and they so I was a little loopy and was like, I don't trust myself to hold them, so thank you, but
you were given the option.
yes, I did, and I did take them for a little bit. My husband held them on me, and then, you know, so that in itself was amazing. And like my doctor was, we couldn't do delayed cord cutting.
Okay.
But he did milk the blood into the baby,
sure.
so like the baby's getting more of their blood than they would if they just like snipped the cord. And
Good.
so like we got options. It wasn't a horrible experience at all.
Good. And you know, one of the things that I found working with women is even if their birth doesn't go as planned, just like you said, like if they were given options, if they felt like an active participant, if they felt cared for by their provider, oftentimes women don't consider that a traumatic experience. Right. It's just disappointing. And I've had, I've had 6 babies, and I would say 2 really, and by the because I felt so well cared for. I feel like it was mourning the loss of like my birth plan, each thing. Oh man, I'm not going to get that. Yeah. Okay, not going to get that. Oh, I guess that's not an option anymore. And it was really like the weeks leading up to it with my last, like I knew, okay, not going to get that, not going to get that, not going to get that. But I felt really well cared for. And I felt like the people on my birth team were kind of mourning that with me. And so many moms who have difficult births, the attitude is just like, well, suck it up. Like you have a healthy baby, and that's all that matters. And you know, that's a big part of what matters, a healthy mom and a healthy baby. But the experience itself matters too. Yeah. So
did you all hear that? It does matter.
It does. It absolutely does. So if you've had a difficult birth and you can on a daily basis, I just want you to know that I hear you and it's very real, and you should set up an appointment and come and chat, because I would love to talk to you. And I do use Penny Simpkins' model for difficult births, and we go through a sheet and a worksheet together looking at positive aspects. Where did I, like some of the questions on there, these are the times I felt well cared for. This is something joyful I remember about the experience. This person was helpful. This is when I felt scared. This is why I felt scared. Maybe I felt like I was in danger. My baby was in danger. And we go through it together, and it's very helpful and very healing. So.
I heard, so like I said, my husband and I were at a retreat this weekend, and one of the people there was talking about going through trauma, whether it's, you know, or whatever, people so like if that's how you're seeing your birth, it's a good indication that like it was traumatic for you, whether you know it's traditional, like what somebody else might call traumatic, that doesn't matter. Like you're the one that it happened to.
And also, so I just did I went to a seminar at Newton Wellesley Hospital a few months ago, and it was really, really good. And it was called When Survivors Give Birth. And it was about women who have survived sexual abuse or rape giving birth. And obviously something like giving birth could kick up a lot of post-traumatic stress in that situation. And as we've heard, like just from the media recently, it's pretty common now to meet women who have been abused in different ways. So you prepare for giving birth and identifying things ahead of time that might be certain triggers for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be so helpful. That's amazing.
It's wonderful. It's good work, and there's no shortage of it. Sadly, there's a lot of people who need this kind of help, and I'm so glad that it's available, and I'm so glad that I now have a space where I can see people that's lovely And
I mean, because you have an office where you can close the door. Like, it's not like people are like walking by you. And,
nope, we close the door. And
privacy.
I also wanted to mention too, the New Moms group, which is free. There's also an exercise class right beforehand. We did it at 10:15 so that moms who have babies who want to go to the exercise class where they can wear their own baby. They call it Bring Your Own Baby, BYO.
Which cute.
And
nice.
Yeah.
So, short version of Rebecca. She runs a mom's group for free at Root & Sprout, which is where her office is, and she can meet with you to discuss trauma in your deliveries or past births, all sorts of life coaching, like how to schedule your life as a new mom and what do you need help with.
Yeah.
She's a childbirth educator and she is a birth doula.
That's right.
Talk about an amazing woman. And she's a mother of 6. Let's not forget that. So, and I just want to throw this out there too. Like you and I were talking before we started this. Like you actually have a degree in pastoral counseling. So it's not even like this is like a new, like, oh, I had kids and I wanted to start helping moms. It was, you've always had this
I did. I went
desire.
So I went to school at Boston College and other things too. Then I got married and had kids and just never really did anything with it. And I went straight to school to become the training to become a childbirth educator and a birth doula. I was trained in 2 different organizations, the Bradley Method for Childbirth Education and then Birth Arts International for my doula work.
Okay.
And, you know, I definitely found that I was counseling moms throughout that process, but then it all just came together for me and I really felt called to kind of merge them both together in a more formal way, in a more formal setting. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited about all these new things. And before I end our time together and talking about this, I do want to ask you one really personal question.
Okay. My hair, I just got it colored for the first time. Is that good?
It looks beautiful. When you walked in today, I was like, wow, her hair looks so good.
My hair is actually starting to go gray. I just turned 35 years old 2 days ago. And
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. And I struggled with, what am I going to do? Am I going to color my hair or not? And I decided to go for it. Yeah. And I did. It's the same as my natural color. This is, so it's not that big of a deal. Nobody's has even noticed. My husband didn't even notice. But it felt like a big step and
nice. I'm getting my hair done at the beginning of March. I have an appointment already because I have to, being a mom of 3 kids with a business, I have to schedule out that far ahead of time. So I'm I still have like my balayage from the summer. Super blonde. So that's one of the where do you go? Worcester to Avenue 50 Salon and Spa. Patty is amazing.
Okay.
So I'm going to see Patty, and one of the things I'm considering is actually because I will be 40 this spring, and I'm going gray, and I want to embrace it. So I'm like, well, maybe I just do a silver balayage.
Oh.
Right? What do you think? Good? Bad? It could be crazy.
You know what I think you should do? So here's my advice. Rhiannon's husband is very technological savvy. He's an IT guy. He helped us set up this here. I think you should take your headshot, and I think you should have him do different like wigs on you and test them before you do it. That's
there you go. They have apps for that, don't they?
Yeah,
you can, change your hair.
Take a picture of your face and then the hair.
For a minute, I just over it. awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in today.
Thank you.
Guys, I love Rebecca. I don't know if you've gotten this from this
Aw.
interview, but she's amazing. Look for the blog post after this too. I've already started writing it
cool.
because I love her so much. It was easy to write.
Oh.
And go to Root and Sprout Fridays, 10:15
Yes.
for the moms group, not for new moms. It's just a new group that's for moms.
But new moms can come.
New moms can come, yes. And I highly recommend it to new moms. It's hard to get out of the house when you are a new mother and when you have a baby, but it's so helpful to meet with especially other moms.
It really
So
is.
amazing. Even just for an hour. And you get a cup of coffee and some muffins. I mean, come on. That's amazing.
Great.
And then a couple of things just to let you know too. Next week I was supposed to have Dr. Dan Meininger on. He's a chiropractor. He has that's like a so we're postponing his interview, but we're going to have Joyce Kimball in, who's a midwife.
Oh,
Rebecca
good.
knows her. I
Joyce
think.
is wonderful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about home birth midwife, like with
Ooh.
home birth midwives.
Good.
So we'll be talking about all that kind of stuff. If that interests you, if you're curious about it, her midwifery, is that how you say it? Midwifery partner is also coming.
Great.
I believe her name's Alexis. I'm sorry.
Alexis Chofum, probably.
That's the one.
Great.
See, I didn't have her written down, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But
Oh, that'll be great.
so both of them will be here next week, and we'll have a discussion about that. So
Wonderful.
awesome! Thanks so much for
Good.
joining us.
Aw,
And we'll
thanks
see
for
you
having
next
me.
week. Thank you.
Great. Oh.